lawyer appointed for you if you cannot afford one. But if you want a lawyer appointed for you, you have to ask me for one. And if you qualify, I will appoint one for you. If you want to waive your rights and enter a plea of guilty to whatever you're charged with today, you consent to this court entering a judgment and imposing a sentence for those offenses. If you don't have any questions and you want to plead guilty, then we'll take your guilty plea. If you want to plead not guilty, we will set your case for a trial. At that trial, you will have the right to confront and cross-examine any witnesses that are called against you, and you have the right to subpoena witnesses to come and testify on your behalf. If you plead not guilty, you've got the right to have your trial in front of a jury, but you can waive that right and ask to have your trial in front of the judge if you would like. You also have the right to appeal any final decision of this court with which you're dissatisfied to the Metcalfe Circuit Court for a review. You have the right to have your record expunged. That means past charges, including some Class D felonies, might be eligible to be wiped off your record. If you're interested in finding out more about that, you can talk to them in the circuit clerk's office. You also need to know that there are certain offenses in district court where the penalties go up each time. Those are called enhanceable offenses. If you have one of those, I'll remind you. If you are here today and you're charged with a felony, you cannot plead guilty in this court. You have two options. You have to pick one of these two. Option one, you can have a preliminary hearing. Option two, you can waive your case to the grand jury. A preliminary hearing is a hearing in this court where somebody's going to testify. After I hear that testimony, if I find there's probable cause you committed that offense, I will send your case to the grand jury. They will decide if they're going to indict you or not. Probable cause is not very difficult for them to prove at that hearing, but if you want to have that hearing, you may. Or option two, you can skip that hearing. You can just send the case to the grand jury yourself and wait to see if they decide to indict you. The only other things, the way that I'll do it today is I'll just go down the screen, however you appear on my screen, and I'll call you. When I call your name, unmute your mic, and we'll go from there. If you have to pay fines or costs, these are the way you can pay it. You can mail it in. You can come pay it at the courthouse. You can pay it online now, or you can pay it over the phone. And if you pay it over the phone, there's a 3% charge. She'll try to put that in the memo. It'll be in the chat. They'll probably also have the U-turn office number in the chat and the public defender's office number in the chat. So if you need those numbers, and the county attorney's office. So if you have any of that, need any of those numbers, they'll be in the chat. You can find that at the bottom of your screen. All right, we'll try it. All right, there's someone named Susan with a bunch of numbers after your name. Yeah, unmute your mic. It's usually on the bottom left.
Okay.
What's your name?
Susan Browning.
Mr. Browning, do you know your rights? 5379.
Yes.
Oh, is she on 10?
That is my judge. She's enrolled in the Oxford House in Somerset, so she's probably jumped on here when she could get here.
I don't know. Ms. Browning, have you talked to your lawyer about what you're planning on doing in these cases?
No, they were supposed to talk to me. I've been in rehab, and then I came straight to the Oxford House in Somerset.
Okay. Do you have a was Danielle your lawyer?
I believe so. She never came to the jail.
Okay, she's not here today. So how long do you think you'll be down there?
I really don't know, sir.
Okay, so if I put it off a couple weeks, you can talk to her?
Yes, it's just have to get a hold of her and her number.
Her number's in the chat.
Okay.
It's the 833 number.
All right.
I'll put it on March the 3rd.
I didn't catch her name.
Susan Browning at 10 o'clock. You just need to talk with your lawyer between now and then, see if you can't figure it out. There's one case where you owe $300, $303. So,
Yes, I was going to pay on that today.
okay. All right, then we'll just try it back when you've been able to talk to your lawyer, okay, on March the 3rd.
March the 3rd at 10.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Okay. All right, Ms. Browning, you need to talk to your lawyer, okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right. Mhm. Nope, but it's streaming live on YouTube. Anybody can watch it if they want. All right, Jason Smith. I just had never turned it on, but I figured I better. No. Jason Smith, you have to unmute your mic. Bottom left.
All
right, you understand your rights?
yes, sir.
You're charged with speeding 16 over and operating on a suspended or revoked license. Can you get a license?
Yes, we have the release from Tennessee that had them suspended.
Okay, how much time do you need to get it?
We already have it.
You already have your license?
No, we had the
How-
release.
Yeah, how long till you can get your license?
Probably a couple weeks or a month, so I can see what all else I have to do.
Okay, March 24th at 9 o'clock. You can get your license and get it in here to the courthouse before that day. That may take care of that. And then you can talk to them about what you could do with your speeding charge.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, good luck. There's a gentleman on a LG Stylo 6 in a beanie. What's your
Hello.
name?
Robert Gammon.
35. Mr. Gammon, do you understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
You were charged with speeding 14 over and no insurance card. Do you have proof of insurance?
No, sir, I do not. I didn't have the car very long because it ended up giving out on me and my insurance lapsed. But I did have insurance through Farm Bureau.
At the
And-
time you got your ticket?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you get proof of that?
Yes, sir. I can call Farm Bureau and have them print out a thing for you and to show you that I had insurance at the time when I was pulled over.
Okay, I'm gonna give you 2 weeks. You need to get that proof and you need to get it to the Metcalfe, to the courthouse here. If you
Okay.
had proof at the time, then we'll talk about your speeding or when you bring it in, if you had proof at the time, they'll tell you what you can do and maybe there's something you can do with your speeding charge. I don't know. You can talk to them about it, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mackenzie Foster, 36. Right, Ms. Foster, do you understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
All right, who do you have there with you?
My dad.
What's your name, sir?
Edward Crandall Foster.
Edward Foster.
Yes,
All right, thank you for being here.
you're welcome. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Foster, you're charged with speeding 23 miles an hour over. She's a juvenile. They have a juvenile diversion program where if you turned your license in for 23 days and you did not drive during that time, they would dismiss your case. If you're interested in doing that, you can. it will certainly save on your insurance, and you don't owe any money. If you have to drive during those 23 days, if you can find another way for 3 weeks, it's a good deal.
Ashton, can you explain the circumstances? Can she explain the circumstances to you, sir?
She can talk to the county attorney's office, to the county attorney if she'd like,
Well, see, the speed
because
limit-
he's the prosecutor, not me. But if you want to talk to him, I'll put you in a room with him. You can talk to him about it.
I can just do that.
Well, what are you gonna have your car for? Can I speak with him just 1 second, please?
Yep, hold on a second. I'm going to put you guys in a room with the county attorney. You
Okay.
guys can talk to him. You'll just have to follow the prompts on your screen. Barry, you'll have to follow the prompts on your screen to go do that. No. All right, let me make sure I got the right one. All right, there's something should popped up there to tell you to go in there, so you can go in there and talk to him privately with nobody else here. And then when you're finished, just close out of that and it'll bring you back to this room, okay?
All right,
Thank you so
thank
much,
you.
sir.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. I'm sure she can figure it out. I'm not sure you can. All right. Let's see. Keena Parrish. 22. All right, Miss Parrish, you understand you're right, or we're supposed to, let's see, this was going to be dismissed if you hadn't had any problems. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Do you know of any? Do you know of any problems for
No.
Keena Parrish?
No.
Judge, I don't see any more arrests.
Okay, what's the address they need to mail your bond to?
I can either pick it up or if they want to mail it to me, either one
That's
is fine,
fine.
but
You can-
it doesn't matter to me.
You can pick it up if you want. It'll probably be.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Judge,
Probably be Friday. You could pick it up Friday.
that's fine.
All
Okay,
right,
that'll work.
all right. Have a good day. LaDonna Shive,
Thank you. You
40.
too.
49.
Yes.
Shive, you understand your rights?
I'm here.
You're charged with speeding 10 miles an hour over and expired license. Did you get your license fixed? Ms. Shive? I think your connection may be bad.
Yes, sir.
Have you gotten a license?
Yes, I did.
Okay, what do you want to do with your speeding
Yes, I
charge?
have.
Ms. Shive, you're eligible. Your internet connection is not very good. I'm gonna put
Let me
you
see if I
on.
can move around here.
Yeah, I'll come back to you in just a second. All right, somebody on Josh's iPhone.
Hello,
No, not you, but I guess we'll go ahead and do it. What's your name?
Josh Densmore.
57. All right, Mr. Dinsmore, you're here because you owe $353.
Yes, sir.
How much time you need to pay that?
Well, I was in a bad accident on October 17th, and my lawyers and everything are just now settling up. So I got a phone with my lawyer this morning, and she told me within the next 30 to 45 days, I should be able to see that settlement. So if you gave me at least 45, I think I can be able to get that taken care of.
April the 28th.
That should be just enough time.
All right.
Judge, is this on 18T 309?
Yeah.
He actually got 2 days credit back in September. I didn't know if that would
Yeah.
help.
Yeah, I did. I forgot about that too.
Okay. So you owe $253.
253. Okay.
Yep.
And if I pay before then, I don't have to come back to court, right?
That's right.
But can I ask a legit question real quick? When I get my settlement, I know you talked to me in the past over other tickets I've already taken care of. I'm finally going to be able to pay Arizona off to take the red flag off my license to where I can get legit, because I have kids and everything, and I don't want to get in no more trouble driving, but at the same time, I got to get to work and all that. So I want to do this the right way. So what do I have to do once I get them to take that off of my record to where I can get a Kentucky license? Do I have any suspensions in Kentucky?
I don't know. You'll have to call the clerk's office and talk to them about it. They'll know about your driver's license.
Okay, I'll see into that because I want to get legal soon. So.
All right. Good luck.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, Ms. Shive, try it again.
Okay. Can you hear
All
me
right.
now?
I can. All right. So it's speeding 10 over. You'd be eligible to do the diversion or traffic school if you want to do that. How much is the diversion? It'd be $50 to do the diversion. If you didn't have any tickets for 6 months, it would get dismissed. You're
And what about the traffic school?
traffic school is
How much is it?
$143, and you have to complete the program. Your internet.
I'd rather do the other.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you down for the diversion program. You need to come into the courthouse and sign up for that and pay them their $50. How much
Okay.
time do you need to do that?
Can I have a couple of weeks to do that?
Yep, your 6 months will start once you pay that, so you need to come in, sign it, and pay it, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck.
All right, thank you. I didn't stop. I was asleep. He said, well, you can do the diversion, you can do the traffic school. I can't get a ticket for 6 months for the diversion.
All right, Josh's iPhone. What's your name?
Joshua Sexton.
I can barely hear you.
You hear me now?
I mean, it's just very low.
Judge, I noticed when I was using Zoom the other day on my phone, there's a speaker up in the little left-hand corner. And if it's got an X through it, you're just like on a regular phone call. If it's lit up, you're on speaker. And I think that might be part of our problem.
Okay, all right, Mr. Sexton, do you understand your rights? Mr. Sexton, do you understand your rights? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's just very low. All right, do you understand your rights?
Yes.
You're charged with no registration, no insurance card, and operating on a suspended or revoked license. Can you get proof of any of that?
The car was actually junked, Your Honor. It had been totaled shortly after that. No, I can't get no verification of insurance or.
You don't have insurance on anything else?
No, I don't. I haven't had.
What about your license?
I'm taking some classes right now. I'm in.
How much time do you need to get a license?
Approximately 8 weeks, I guess. I'm doing DUI classes. And through Life Skills in Barron County, Kentucky.
All right, I'm gonna put it on April the 21st. That's about 10 or 11 weeks. You need to get your license. By then, maybe you have something we can do with your insurance.
Okay, do I need to bring in a copy of the title junked or of the
That
vehicle?
that would probably help you,
Okay, I can get that.
and your license.
I can
Okay?
get that. All right,
All right, April 21st at 9 o'clock.
thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I guess Barry's done. You're done with that room. I just didn't see her back in here. All right, Mackenzie Foster.
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Foster, you're interested in doing the diversion program?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's a pretty good deal. I mean, just can't drive during that time. May have to hit up some friends for a ride for a few weeks, but
Okay.
you just have to slow down, okay?
No, all right.
All right, then whatever you worked out, if you can mail your license here, they'll mail it back to you after that day since you don't live here. And then once you get it back, you can just drive. You don't owe anything, okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you. I
One
appreciate
one
it.
second. Well, she needs to have our address.
What?
All right, we'll send you the form to sign. What's your address?
P.O. Box 342, Whitley City, Kentucky, 42653.
42653, right?
Yes.
Whitley City. All right, Ms. Foster, they'll mail you this form for you and your parent to sign. You can send they'll probably send you an envelope. You can send your license back in and then they'll mail it back to you. Or maybe you could just have her turn it in at her clerk's office or something.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Does the 23 days start today or whenever I send it in?
It'll start when you send it in.
Do it at our clerk's office.
We send it through the mail.
Whenever you postmark it.
Okay, can we do this at our clerk's office or?
I don't know. That may be something you want to call here and talk to them about. If y'all can work that out, that's fine by me.
Okay.
Okay.
Your clerk may not want to fool with it, but if they're willing to, then that'd be fine by me.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
She could just turn it in there and then pick it up there, but that'll be up. If y'all can get that worked out, that'd be fine. Okay?
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, let's see. Bradley Akery, 64. Mr. Aker, you have to unmute your mic.
Can you hear me?
I can now. You owe $183. How much time you need to pay that?
Just 2 weeks.
2 weeks is February 24th. 9 o'clock. If you have it paid by then, you don't have to come back. If not, be here at that time. All right?
All right.
Good luck. All right. Dakota.
Yes, sir.
What's your name?
Dakota Wilson.
34. All right, Mr. Wilson, do you understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
Let's see, you're here because you had a speeding and instructional permit violation.
Yeah, last time I was here, you told me I can go get my license. I went and got them.
Okay. So you got your regular license?
Yes, sir.
All right, what do you want to do with your speeding charge? DL.
I don't.
Be eligible for a diversion. Okay. So you want to plead guilty or you want to plead not guilty?
I mean, I'll plead guilty.
Okay. It's a $36 fine. With the court costs, it's $179.
All right.
How much time you need to pay that?
At least 3 or 4 months, because right now I ain't got a job. So I tested positive for COVID.
June 2nd.
All right. That'll work.
At 9 o'clock. If you have it paid, you don't have to come back. If not, be here at 9 o'clock.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Stay healthy. All right. A gentleman on a Galaxy Tab A with headphones on. You have to unmute your mic. Have to unmute your mic, sir. Bottom left corner. There you go. All right, what's your name?
Brown.
All right, Mr. Brown, you understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
You're charged with leaving the scene of an accident, operating on a suspended or revoked license, no insurance, first offense, failure to register the transfer of a motor vehicle, improper registration, obstructed windshield, failure to report a traffic accident, and failure to notify address change. Do you know what you want to do with those charges? Can you get a license or insurance and registration?
I've been doing a DUI class for a year. I finally finished, completed that, and I talked to the Columbia Department of Transportation. They told me I could send in a $40 reinstatement fee and get my license back.
Okay.
I called the clerk's office, and they told me that I had a suspension that was back in March of 2018. It wouldn't be up until July of this year. And I talked to Barry Gilly a couple of days ago, and I can get them back in July at the latest. But I think that driving on suspended back in March 10th, 2018, I figured that suspension would have been already up.
Yeah, I don't know. What about insurance and registering the vehicle, transferring the vehicle?
The vehicle, the title had been junked on it. It had been taken to mid-state. As soon as I get my license back and I get a vehicle, I can get proof of insurance and license on.
Well, I don't know when you can get a license, but I'm gonna put this on March the 3rd for you to bring in your proof of your other stuff, and you can tell us exactly what it's gonna take for you to get your license back, because I don't know if you completed your DUI classes. I'm not sure why there'd be a 2-year.
The Columbia, the DOT told me that I was good to go, that I can get them back. But when I called the Metcalfe clerk's office,
Yeah, apparently they're telling me it's July, so I don't
know
know. I mean, you'll have to talk with Mr. Gilly and see what y'all can work out. I don't know if he's gonna want to wait till July.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it on March 3rd. You need to call Mr. Gilly between now and then. That's 3 weeks. See if you can figure out what you want to do.
All righty.
All right, March 3rd at 9 o'clock.
All right, thank you. Good
luck. Jacob Reynolds.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Reynolds, you understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
You're charged with no insurance, first offense, and failure to wear seatbelt. Can you get proof of insurance?
Your Honor, I kept insurance on the vehicle for 2.5 months after that incident, and I just right now I'm having troubles with the unemployment office and all that.
Did you have insurance on it when you got your ticket?
No, sir. I had it expired 3 days prior, and I got it the day of.
Okay. All right, Mr. Reynolds, so this is a no insurance second offense. The problem with that is the minimum fine's $1,000 and your license will get suspended for a year if you plead guilty to that. You know what you want to do?
Your Honor, I guess I have no other choice but to plead guilty on that. I mean,
You don't have insurance
I've
now?
told you, I've stated. No, sir, the car has actually been junked. It was
You don't-
junked, like I said, 2.5 months after.
You
And
covered, are you,
it's a big lawsuit that I'm going through right now with Matt Gallagher. It was junked under false pretenses. Like he never had my permission or anything to junk the vehicle. He was supposed to be servicing it. It's a big, long, stretched out ordeal right now. Like the title, all my belongings and everything was still in the car. It's a mess.
is the, you're not covered under anybody else's insurance?
I might be covered under my mother's.
I mean, either you're a licensed driver on hers or you're not.
Oh, no, sir. I'm not a licensed driver.
I mean,
I'm not.
a covered driver on hers.
I don't think so. No, sir. I'm not listed. I'm not personally listed on her policy.
Okay. All right, well, then, how do you want to plead to that charge?
I guess guilty, sir.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
Is anybody forcing you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No, sir.
The minimum fine for that charge is $1,000. You also have 10 days in jail that are suspended for 2 years on the condition you don't drive without valid insurance.
Okay.
With the court costs, it's $1,153. How much time do you have? What? $63. How much time do you need to pay that?
As much as possible, because I've got a $780 fine still from a previous case.
What day is that set for?
That is May, I think May 15th.
No.
Somewhere, it's middle of May. I do know
That's
that.
a Saturday. May
I
the
have to
12th.
look on my calendar.
All right, I'm gonna put this one on May 12th, just so you have one day, but you need to start working on those. If you show me you're paying on it, I'll give you some more time to finish them.
All right, yes, sir. Now that 10 days in jail, is that, you said that's suspended for 2 years?
Yeah, on the condition you don't drive without valid insurance.
All right, thank you, sir.
Good luck. Patrick Holloway, 47.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Mr. Holloway, you're charged with no registration. Can you get registration?
Yes.
How long will that take you?
I have my registration receipt, but I'm getting my taxes back, my tax refund, probably here within the next week or two, and I'll pay that speeding ticket that I owe and get registration and insurance.
We got another day. All right, I'm gonna put it on the same day as your other ones, April 14th.
So if I pay this off, I won't have to worry about.
You just need to get your registration, then show it to them here at the courthouse.
All right.
And they'll dismiss that one. All right, have a good day.
You too.
Josephine Garman, 52.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Garman, looks like you owe $628.
Yes, Your Honor.
Has she completed her community service?
No, sir.
No?
No, I tested positive for COVID, and it's just been pretty difficult for me here lately.
Ms. Atkins, this one's yours.
I couldn't understand that name.
Josephine Garman. He had some community service, alcohol counseling, and community service.
I am doing alcohol counseling through Angel Arms.
You have 48 hours community service. You're supposed to stay in touch with Miss Atkins.
I don't know Miss Carter.
Sounds like you're not staying in touch with her if she doesn't know who you are. I'm
Yeah.
gonna put your case on March the 3rd. You need to talk to her. If you don't, you haven't done what we've asked you to do, any of it.
I understand.
You need to call Miss Atkins if you do, if she tells me you guys didn't come up with a plan, then you'll probably have to go serve these things out in jail. So make sure you call her.
Yes, sir.
U-Turn office in Glasgow. Her number's in the chat.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank
Brittany Graves. 68. Oh, she's 10. Ms. Graves, your case is not until 10 o'clock, so we'll get back to you in a second. All right, somebody on Ashley's iPhone.
Yes, sir.
What's your name?
Ashley Trent.
42. Ms. Trent, do you understand your rights?
Yes.
You're charged with speeding 10 miles an hour over, no insurance card, and operating on suspended or revoked license. Can you get proof of insurance and a license?
My license had collapsed. It was in January, I believe, but I can get proof of insurance. That's not a problem. But I've never got in trouble at all with my anything.
What do you have to do to get your license back?
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. Who do I need to call and talk to about that?
Probably wherever you live, the clerk's office.
Okay.
It looks like you have cases in Adair and Monroe that probably have your license suspended that you're gonna have to take care of, speeding tickets.
Okay.
I'm gonna put your case on March the 31st at 9 o'clock. You need to call and get those other things taken care of so you can get a license back.
Okay.
All right.
Judge,
Good
I
luck.
need Miss Trent's current phone number.
Trent, the pretrial needs your phone number.
Okay, it's 270-996-4090.
996-4090.
Mm-hmm.
All right, just a reminder, you're supposed to be calling us once a month still, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Anybody that's here that is on their telephone, you have to hit *6 to unmute your phone. Go ahead and do that, and then I'll call your phone number, and you can tell me who you are. All right. If the last 3 digits of your phone number are 076, what's your name?
Yeah, Robert Hagan.
What was it?
Robert Hagan, Hagan.
All right, Mr. Hagan, do you understand your rights?
Yeah.
You're charged with no insurance, first offense. Can you get proof of insurance?
Yeah. It'd be Friday.
Okay, I'm
'Cause I
gonna
don't
put
get
it.
paid but once a week.
I'm gonna put it on March the 3rd. Do you live here in Metcalfe County?
Yep, right here in town.
All right, when you get it, you get your proof of insurance, bring it to the courthouse, drop it off. They'll tell you if you need to, you can come back on March the 3rd, and then we'll see if you're eligible to do the diversion or what you want to do, okay?
Okay.
All right, we'll see you back here March the 3rd at 9 o'clock.
All right. Bye.
All right. All right, if the last 3 digits of your phone number are, let's see, 348, what's your name?
James Gibson.
All right, Mr. Gibson, do you understand you're here because you owe $243.07, right?
Yes, sir.
How much time you need to finish that?
About a month.
March 24th,
Alrighty.
9 o'clock. All right, good
Alrighty.
luck.
Thank you.
All right, if the last three digits of your phone number are 964, what's your name?
Natasha Payne.
I got something to read to you all, and then we're gonna
60.
do something about it. Carla threw this up, it's Carla Norman did.
Miss Payne, you owe $243. How much time do you need to pay that?
I need a couple months. I'm just waiting on my taxes. I'm supposed to be getting them around the end of March.
All right, April
I'm gonna pay it
21st,
off. Okay, at 9
Okay.
o'clock.
9 o'clock. If you have it paid, you don't have to come back.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, if the last three digits of your phone number are 898, what's your name?
Gary Peebley.
55. All right, Mr. Peevely, you're here because you owe $883. How much time you need to pay that?
Well, Your Honor, this is what I'm able to do because I'm disabled. I'm gonna mail in $100 today, but I need till May, like the second week of May, to pay the rest of it.
All right, May the 19th. If you have it paid, you don't
Nope.
have to come back.
That'll work, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, if you're on the telephone, you have to hit *6 to unmute your phone, or I'm not going to be able to hear you. All right, if the last three digits of your phone number are 900, what's your name?
Tyler Bryant.
39. Mr. Bryant, do you understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
You're charged with receiving stolen property under $500. Do you know how you want to plead to that charge?
Yes, guilty.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
Anybody forcing you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
You under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No, sir.
Gilly, you know what you want to do in that one? It's a receiving stolen property. Tyler Bryant. A road sign? All right, Mr. Bryant, on your plea of guilty, you've got 30 days in jail that are all suspended for 2 years on the condition you don't violate the penal code and that you pay restitution for the signs. They're going to send you that amount. If you, I guess we'll have to set it for a review. How long? 2 weeks. Mr. Bryant, we'll set it back here on 2 weeks
All right.
at 10 o'clock. And we'll tell you how much it is they're saying the signs are. The court costs are $163 and you don't have a fine, but you'll, whatever the rest of the restitution is, we'll put it in with that, and then we'll give you a total and tell you how much, and you can tell me how much time you need to pay it. We'll put it, so just be back here in 2 weeks at 10 o'clock.
All righty. Appreciate it.
All right, good luck. All right, if you're on the telephone, you have to hit *6 to unmute your phone. or I'm not going to be able to hear you. All right. If you have a 615 area code, what's your name?
Dale Compton.
Kenneth Compton?
Yes,
33. All right, Mr. Compton, do you understand your rights?
I do.
You're charged with DUI first offense aggravator. Do you know how you want to plead to that charge?
Not guilty.
Do you plan on hiring a lawyer?
No, sir.
Do you need one appointed for you?
I do.
Do you work anywhere?
No, I'm unemployed.
Do you own any land?
I do.
What kind of land do you own?
I have a place out on the Old Glasgow Road, and I have a small house in town.
You probably won't qualify for a public defender if you own property. So you may have to hire a lawyer.
Okay.
Did you have a blood test in your case?
No, sir.
All right. I'm going to set your pretrial for April the 21st at 10 o'clock. You'll need to let your lawyer know about that day, but that's a couple months for you to be able to talk to one about what you can do. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Good luck.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else on the telephone, you have to hit *6 to unmute. All right. What's your name?
Edward Peterson.
40. All right, Mr. Peterson, do you understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
You're charged with possession of marijuana and possession of drug paraphernalia. Do you know how you want to plead to those?
To charge one, possession of marijuana, not guilty.
Okay,
I didn't have marijuana. It was CBD hemp.
Do you plan on hiring a lawyer?
If I need to, yes. And for the dab pens that were confiscated were empty, but at one time did contain THC. I'll admit that.
Okay, well,
But they were empty and we are in evidence.
if you want to plead not guilty, I'll set you for a pretrial conference.
Yeah, not guilty on that. And
Okay.
charge two.
April the 21st at 10 o'clock. You'll need to let your lawyer know about that day as soon as possible. Mr.
Okay,
Peterson,
yes.
Can you give us your address? The mail that they're sending you keeps coming back.
3917 Lone Star Ridge, Edmonton, 42129.
Okay. All right. So we'll have your pretrial conference on April the 21st. 10 o'clock.
And what about the other charge?
They're both, I mean, you can't, unless you talk to the county attorney, they're not going to just pick and choose your charges. I mean, if you plead not guilty to one, it's just not guilty to all of them. If you want to contact the county attorney's office and see if you can work something out, you can do that.
Okay, can I just call them and work it out with them?
You can.
Okay.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. If you're on the telephone, you have to hit *6 to unmute your phone. I have two more folks before I let in these other 15. All right. We tried. All All right, let's see. Miss Howard, do you have a case you can take care of? What do you have?
Yes, Kevin Harper.
71. All right, what are we planning on doing in that case?
The Commonwealth and I have discussed this case and discussed it. We are agreed that to a charge of criminal mischief third, amend it to criminal mischief third, 45 days suspended on the usual conditions, and cost.
Is Mr. Harper here?
No, Your Honor. He works in Tennessee, and he's got a job with some bosses that are, they just don't like to let people off. They think that you're supposed to work all the time.
All right,
But
so you're going to enter the guilty plea for him?
Yes, Your Honor. And we have discussed his rights to trial by jury, etc.
What's the total? There's not one. All right, the court costs are $163, and he'll have 45 days in jail that are suspended for 2 years on the condition he doesn't violate the penal code, pleading guilty to criminal mischief third degree. How much time does he need to pay that?
3 months.
May the
Shouldn't be
12th.
that long.
May the
12th.
12th at 10 o'clock, at 9 o'clock, if he hasn't paid
And
by
was
then.
that 143?
163.
Excuse me. Okay. All right, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's see, Mr. Bell, what do you have that we can take care of?
Your Honor, I've got Selena Cristiano.
Yes, sir.
We had hoped that we'd be on for a plea today. I've gotten the plea offer from Mr. Gilly, giving that to my client, Your Honor. She wants to, and I want to request 2 weeks for us to consider that and make sure she has a full understanding of the IID, get that paperwork stuff done so we wouldn't have to put sentencing off, Judge.
They won't let me do that anymore anyway. So February 24th at 10 o'clock.
They won't let you do that anymore.
They won't let me put off their sentencing anymore.
Would you tell them who you was?
They didn't seem to care.
Well, I hate to hear that. Well, that's all I have today, Judge. You have a good day.
You too. All right. Oh, let's see. I guess let's try and figure out who these folks are. Let's see. Let's see. William Carter. He's number 80. You'll have to unmute your mic on the bottom left.
Here.
All right, Mr. Carter, do you have a lawyer?
No, sir.
You know what you're planning on doing in your case?
Yes, I've discussed it with Mr. Gilly, and I signed a DUI guilty plea and sent that to him.
Okay. All right, Mr. Carter, so to DUI second offense aggravator, how do you want to plead?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes.
Has anyone forced you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol today?
No.
Are you pleading guilty to DUI second offense aggravator because on December the 12th, 2020, you operated a motor vehicle in Metcalfe County, Kentucky while under the influence of alcohol?
Yes.
You understand DUI is an enhanceable offense and that every time you get one, then a 10-year period, the penalties go up each time.
Correct.
If you got 4 within a 10-year period, it becomes a felony offense, right?
Understood.
You also understand by pleading guilty, you're waiving your constitutional rights, and those rights include the right not to testify against yourself, the right to a speedy and public trial by a jury, where the Commonwealth would have to prove your guilt beyond reasonable doubt at that trial. You'd have a lawyer appointed for you if you could not afford one. You'd have the right to confront and cross-examine any witnesses called against you during that trial, and you'd have the right to put on your own evidence and call your own witnesses on your behalf, and you'd have the right to appeal your case to a higher court. You understand by pleading guilty, you're waiving those rights.
Yes.
Is this your signature on the bottom of this plea form?
That is it.
Have you been over that form and you believe you understand what you're doing?
Yeah, I read it, but yeah, I understand what I'm doing.
Okay. On your plea of guilty, then you'll have the minimum fines and costs. It has 400. You have 180 days in jail. You have to serve 14. So you have credit for those?
He has credit for 2, and it looks like he posted a 2,000 cash bond.
Okay. On here, Barry, it says credit time served, but he has 2 days. 2 days. I just didn't have much. Okay. You have credit for 2 days. You have 12 days remaining. The other 166 days are all suspended for 2 years on the condition you don't have any aggravated traffic offenses. Your license is suspended for 18 months. You have alcohol and drug education classes you have to complete before you can get your license back.
I told him he could talk to you about home incarceration if he wished to do that.
If you have 12 days in jail that you need to serve, if you would like to do those as home incarceration, it would be 36 days home incarceration. Or you can do the 12 days in jail.
Can I work while I serve the 36 days of home incarceration?
Yeah, you can talk with Miss Atkins and she'll go over what those things are if that's what you're interested in.
Yeah, I want to keep working if I can.
All right, the total that you're gonna owe is $828. Obviously, that home incarceration is gonna cost you, so how much time do you think you need to pay that?
I don't know how much it will be. The 828, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say June the 9th. We'll go from there. Your license is now suspended. Do you have your license?
No, they've been surrendered.
Okay. Oh, you have a cash bond. We're gonna apply your cash bond to your $828, and that'll take care of that. And then what address is this, West Main Street address in Gamaliel?
That's correct. That's correct.
Is that, where they can send it to?
Yes.
All right.
Actually, the PO box will be the.
Oh, all right. What is it?
PO box is my mailing address.
What is that?
PO box 145.
PO Box 145.
Gamaliel, Kentucky.
Is it 42140 or is it different for the PO box?
No, that's the same.
All right. All right, they'll send you that back. You need to contact Miss Atkins at the county attorney's office, or I mean at the U-turn office. She's the one that'll do your home incarceration. You can set that up with her.
Okay.
She'll also have information about interlock ignition device. You may be eligible to get one of those, and you could drive immediately with that.
Okay. Even though my license is suspended?
That is correct.
Okay.
You should probably apply for one regardless.
Okay.
Even if you don't want to get it. I don't know that you have to in a second, but Ms. Atkins will be able to give you some guidance along those lines, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck.
And I will get that information in the mail for her.
Yeah. No, her number's in the chat.
Okay. I'll try to find it.
If you'll look at it down there, U-turn, 629-2130.
Could you repeat that one time? Please.
629-2130 is her telephone number.
All right, thank you.
All right. Do we have preliminary hearings we can do? Got one that says Pomeroy, one for England.
Pomeroy's the one you released this morning.
No, he went to rehab.
Yeah. But yes.
So, Mr. Austin, are you interested in waiving his case to the grand jury? He's gone to rehab.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's see, that may be Trooper Cornett. That's the case that you had, was Pomeroy. You'll have to unmute your mic.
Yes, sir. That was the case I'm here on, was Mr. Pomeroy.
All right. Apparently he was released to go to rehab this morning, so he's going to waive his case to the grand jury. So I guess we won't need you for this preliminary.
Okay. And Your Honor, I'd gotten in contact with the county attorney, but the primary case officer in this investigation is actually going to be Detective BJ Burton with our agency, Post 15. So.
Oh, well. Okay.
I just wanted to make you all aware.
Well, I'd rather have you than BJ, but it's all right.
All right. So it's been waived, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All right. No problem. Y'all have a good day.
Oh, the other case is set for next week.
It's co-defendant.
This gentleman's co-defendant, so I don't know if you have
Dan
to tell me.
Shapiro.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I will get up with Detective Burton on that as well. And if he needs me to, I can as well on that one.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Not a problem. Y'all have a good day.
You too. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Looks like we got England and Parrish. Do you have your witnesses here for those? It looks like Mr. Richardson and Mr. Harper may be here. I don't know if those are the two. Looks like Mr. Richardson's here for England. Also have a Graves. That looks like Logan Richardson too. Good Lord, we got a bunch of them. What's that?
Mr. Parrish, is he there?
Is Mr. William Parrish? He's here.
Yes.
Let's see. Has he just got one?
He's got 3 cases in one, 3 counts.
All right, Mr. Parrish, the county attorney's is telling me that he would offer to amend these to misdemeanors if you were interested in pleading guilty to those.
Yeah.
What would it be?
30 days suspended. We don't have any.
What are we amending it to?
I do have a question though.
Okay.
Will I be going back to jail because I got like a job?
No.
I just
Nope.
wanted to make.
On your plea of guilty, it would be 30 days in jail that are all suspended for 2 years on the condition you don't have any violations of the penal code, no like offenses.
All right. I just had to make sure because I work at Sumitomo in Edmonton, and they're like strict, and I'm like more than likely if I was missed 30 days, they would probably fire me right there. So that's the reason I was asking, just to make sure. 'Cause I'm trying to keep a steady job going and.
Any fine?
And if they give him a hassle, let me know.
All right, you don't have a fine, but you have a court cost and you have the court costs, which are
And by the way, this was at the officer's request, so to do this for you.
Mr. Parrish, whatever officer was dealing with this is the one that agreed to this deal.
I think it was Jared Steele.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Parrish, so the 3 counts of unlawful transaction with a minor 3rd degree, how do you want to plead?
I plead guilty.
Pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
Has anybody forced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
You under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No, sir.
Plea of guilty, it's 30 days in jail that are all suspended for 2 years on the condition you don't violate the penal code, and you don't have any like offenses. You're going to owe $188. How much time do you need to pay that?
Give me a month.
All right, March 24th. If you have it paid by then, you don't have to come back. If not, be here at 10 o'clock or
All
9
righty.
o'clock. 9 o'clock.
And William, this releases you from having to call pretrial anymore.
Okay.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
All right. All right, what do you want to do next? We got 4 preliminary hearings, three preliminary hearings, I guess. Got. Yep. Is Austin England here? If you're here, you have to unmute. If you're on the phone, hit *6.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. England, right? You're Austin England?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, let's see. Mr. Austin, are you ready? All right. This is a preliminary hearing in 21F4. Mr. Austin England's here with his lawyer. We're here for a preliminary hearing. Mr. Gilly, who would you like to call? Logan
Richardson, please.
Richardson, you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
You may ask.
State your name, please. Logan Richardson.
And are you with the Metcalfe County Sheriff's Department?
Yes, sir.
Did you have some reason to be involved with Mr. Austin England on the 7th day of January 2021?
Yes, sir, I did.
And how did you come to be involved with him?
On the 7th at about 10 in the morning, myself and Sheriff Hodges were actually provided with a screenshot that Mr. England had posted to Facebook. We had been investigating some thefts of road signs throughout the county. And the post is actually what appeared to be a picture of him and who we later identified to be his girlfriend, kind of a selfie style picture. And it was taken in what looked to be like a small room. We identified the male in the picture to be actually Austin England. And in the picture, you can actually see several road signs that are attached to the wall in some way. There were 4 green road signs, and 3 of them being roads in Metcalfe, which were Granville Sexton Road, John Gilpin Road, and Ferris Creek Road. So after we looked at that picture, we actually went to Mr. England's residence at 52 John T. Fields Road, off Hickory Ridge. And when we pulled up into the house to kind of identify, who lived there and if that was going to be the house we were looking for, you could actually see a stop sign sitting in the shed of it's a detached shed that sit at the end of the gravel drive. You could stand in the driveway and see a stop sign inside. Based upon that, we went to obtain a search warrant for the residence. So at 12:19 hours, the search warrant was actually granted by the court. At about 12:55, myself and Sheriff Hodges got back out at John T. Fields Road at Mr. England's house. We were able to make contact with him. He had been asleep. He comes to the door. We explain to him why we're there. We read the search warrant. After reading it, he did cooperate. He led us to a room that matched the room in the picture that we saw on Facebook. And there were several road signs that still attached to the walls. We asked him if there's anything else that could get him in trouble in the house, and then he produced a small plastic jar that had some marijuana paraphernalia, marijuana residue. He did verify that was him in the picture, that he knew which picture we were talking about. And he actually directed me to more road signs that I found in this passenger side floorboard of a truck that was outside in the driveway. In the end, we actually recovered 16 signs, which would be 15 road signs and 1 stop sign.
And do you have a value on those signs, sir?
The estimation I was given for the sign alone was $100 a piece. It's more considering if the post was damaged or not.
Okay. So the post damage would be in addition to that as they remove the signs.
That's correct.
All right. Okay. I'll pass the witness.
Mr. Austin.
Your Honor, I have no questions for the witness at this time.
Okay, Mr. Gilly, do you have anything else?
I'm with Rish, Your Honor.
Austin, do you have proof for an argument?
Given the incredibly low standard of probable cause in preliminary hearing, I do not have proof or an argument at this time.
All right, then based on the testimony, court will find probable cause, send this case to the grand jury. Mr. England, you won't have another court date in this case until the grand jury decides what to do. You're out on bond, so make sure you follow those bond conditions between now and then. Do you have any questions?
Just how will I be notified of my next court date, sir?
As long as they have your address, they'll probably just, somebody will come serve a summons on you. If they don't have your address, then they'll probably arrest you.
And Austin, this is Whitney with pretrial. As long as you keep calling our office like you're supposed to with updated information, if you get indicted, we can contact you as well.
Okay, so just call to get an update on my case. I was not told I need to. The woman I talked to in the beginning, she did not inform me that I needed to call consistently and update or anything like that.
First Tuesday of each month. I know Brandon talked to you last week, I think it was. Okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, have a good day.
You too.
All right, we can do Brittany Graves. I think she's here. Or she's here.
Can you hear me?
Can. Mr. Austin, do you represent her?
I am filling in for Danielle.
Okay. All right. We're here in the case of Brittany Graves, 20F68, here for preliminary hearing. The parties are ready. You want to call Mr. Richardson again?
Call Mr. Richardson, Your Honor.
Richardson, you remain under oath, so you may ask.
State your name again for the record.
Logan Richardson.
And you're still with the Metcalfe County Sheriff's Department, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you were on November 21st, 2020?
Yes, sir.
I have a citation here that where you have issued charges against Miss Brittany Lasha Graves on that date. Do you remember that date, sir?
Yes, sir.
How did you come to be involved with her?
On that date, at about 3:15 in the afternoon, myself and Deputy Morrison actually went to a home out on Lone Star Ridge Road, and we were investigating a possible theft of money. During talking with the victim there, he actually told us that the only adults that had recently been at the house were Contessa Gore and Miss Graves. And he described that they had left the house, that Miss Graves had come to pick Miss Gore up in a black Kia passenger car. He described it as a fairly nice looking vehicle, kind of newer looking. So myself and Deputy Morrison actually went out to Shaw Creek Road, which is a residence that Contessa Gore, that through prior dealings, we knew that she stayed there. We made several tries to get somebody to answer the door. There were no vehicles in the driveway or anything like that. So after we knocked on the door a couple of times, we actually began to leave. As we headed back southbound on Shaw Creek towards Highway 90, as I came up to a hillcrest, I saw a black Kia passenger car actually approaching me. Knowing that it was the suspect vehicle that we had, we also knew that Miss Gore had outstanding warrants on her. I actually attempted to stop them for excessive window tinting as they approached me. I turned my blue lights on, and when I did that, the vehicle kind of hesitated for a second and then it sped up. I kind of turned to my left, cut to my left to try to block it off. It nearly struck me head on, and it took a ditch and went between me and a fence. Deputy Morrison was actually behind me. It nearly hit him as well as it took the ditch again to go around him. We actually turned and pursued the vehicle back northbound on Shaw Creek. It continued up Shaw Creek at a high rate of speed and then ended up coming to a dead end where it had to take a right into a private gravel driveway. At that point, that's when I overtook Deputy Morrison, who had got in front of me because they passed us up. And we continued to pursue the vehicle until it came to the drive goes up to a dead end at a cabin. It's a privately owned cabin. So they went around the bend. We come around the bend, find the vehicle stopped, and the doors are shut. So I run up. As we start to clear the vehicle, I pull the driver's side door open to find Miss Graves sitting in the driver's seat. I ordered her to leave the vehicle. I detained her for our safety because we suspected that we had another person that was out on foot. While I was actually handcuffing Miss Graves, she did verify that the other person in the vehicle was Contessa Gore, but she claimed that Contessa was driving and that when Contessa jumped out of the car and ran, that Brittany got in the driver's seat for the brief moment it took us to clear the vehicle. I did ask Miss Graves if it was her vehicle. She said it was her vehicle, but it was registered in her grandparents' name. Also, when I placed her under arrest and put her in my vehicle, she asked that I remove her cell phone from the vehicle, and it was located in the driver's seat, kind of like if she would have been sitting with it between her legs. Like I said, I interviewed her at the Metcalfe County Sheriff's Office, read her rights. She understood her rights and agreed to speak with me. She did confirm that Miss Gore was the other female in the vehicle again. She said they were on their way back from Glasgow. And she continued claiming that she had just jumped in the driver's seat when Miss Gore fled the vehicle.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Austin.
Officer Richardson, so at no point did the vehicle make contact with any of the cruisers?
No, it came very close, but they did not hit us.
All right. Did you actually test the window tinting after you were able to get everybody and get her into custody?
I used a common test that when you don't have an actual tint meter that's been used for a long time, where you place a driver's license up to the inside of the window and see if you can actually read it through the window. Of course, using it as probable cause for the stop, I have no way of testing it other than I can look at it and see that it's too dark.
I was just curious if you actually tested it afterwards, since that was your probable cause. But okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Hey, Mr. Gilly.
Yes, I think you covered this, but you did turn on the blue lights where they could see them as you met them, right? They knew that there was a police officer with blue lights asking them to stop.
Correct. I know I did for the stop. And we both activated our lights and sirens during the actual pursuit.
All right. So there was no doubt that they knew that a police officer, that you were a police officer and you were requesting them to stop.
Correct. It's a single lane, a narrow single lane country road. And I mean, I was right in front of them. They were coming head on at me.
Okay, thank you. That's all.
All right, Mr. Austin, do you have any other questions?
Not this time, Your Honor.
Do you have any proof or an argument?
Given the incredibly low standard of probable cause in a preliminary hearing, I do not have proof or an argument at this time.
All right, and based on the testimony, the court will find probable cause to send this case to the grand jury. Ms. Graves, you won't have another court date in this case until the grand jury decides what to do. You're out on bond, so make sure you follow your bond conditions between now and then, okay?
Okay,
All right, good luck.
thank you.
All right, what about Brandy Goad? Ready to do that one?
I believe she's one of ours.
Brandy Goad here. If you're here and on the phone, you have to hit *6 to unmute your phone.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, court calls the case of Brandy Goad, 20F74. Ms. Goad's here with her attorney. Mr. Gilly, is everyone ready?
Is Zach Harper available, Your Honor?
He's on the call.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, here for preliminary hearing. Mr. Gilly, you want to call Mr. Harper?
I'll call Officer Harper, please.
All right, you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you may ask.
State your name, please.
Zachary Harper.
And you employed by the Evansville Police Department?
I am.
Were you so employed on December the 6th, 2020?
I am, or I was. Excuse me.
You had some reason to have contact with Brandy Lee Goad on that date, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
How did you come to be in contact with her?
I was sitting down at Bob's AutoZone and saw a vehicle coming up a Greensburg Street with a broken windshield. I produced a stop on the vehicle, and when I got up there, got their information, ran their information, handed back to them. I asked for consent to search the vehicle. She was a passenger in the vehicle. She was outside with her purse, and I asked for consent to search her purse, and and she consented to a search of the purse. When I was searching her purse, inside of a little zippable bag, inside the purse, there was a small baggie of a crystal-like substance and a glass pipe with black and white cloudy residue.
Okay, what was your reason for stopping the vehicle? I think you said, and I missed it.
A broken windshield.
Okay, thank you. Did you do any further searches after that, after the purse?
Yes, sir. I conducted a full search of the vehicle.
And what else did you find?
Well, and on the person, on her person, she also had it was actually a 10 milliliter syringe in her bra. And the citation, it says 1 milliliter, but it was actually a 10 milliliter syringe.
Okay. Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
The citation says that you stopped the vehicle for a broken windshield, that you took their information and then you were returning it. What caused you to ask for permission to search the vehicle?
I just asked for a consent to search to see if they would let me, and they did. They consented after I gave their information back to them.
So there wasn't nothing just other than asking. Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Call them with rest, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Austin, do you have any proof or an argument?
I didn't have any proof for an argument this time, Your Honor.
Okay, then based on the testimony, court find probable cause, in this case to the grand jury. Ms. Goad, you're out on bond, so you don't have another court date until the grand jury decides what to do. Just make sure you follow your bond conditions.
Okay,
All right, good luck.
thank you.
Mr. Poindexter, do you have one you can take up? You'll have to unmute your mic if you're there. If not, I guess we can try something else. All right. What's the, who's the gentleman that's on Kayla's iPhone?
It's Tommy Branham. It's Tommy Branham, Your Honor, if you can hear me.
Yep, I can hear you. You're late.
I'm late.
Your case was at 9.
Our paper says 10, I can show you, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
The paper says 10, I can show you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Apparently you provided proof of registration, so your case has just been dismissed.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. All right. Who's on the LG Stylo 4? Your microphone's not connected. You'll have to get your microphone connected before I'll be able to hear you, sir. All right. Who's on Jessica's Galaxy?
Jessica Williams.
73. Ms. Williams, have you talked to your lawyer?
I tried and she didn't contact me back.
All right, we'll try 2 weeks. At 10 o'clock, hopefully you can get in touch with her between now and then.
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, let's see. A Moto Z. What's your name?
Joseph Abruzzo.
That is my client, Your Honor.
All right.
I'd sent an email to Mr. Gilly and never got a response. Where's my, I had that file with me.
The email just said for me to dismiss it, and I wasn't ready to do that, so.
Well, I mean, I didn't even get a response or anything, so I had no idea whether you got it or not. What is your current offer?
Well, my current offer is the low offer, always make $100 fine, 10 days suspended.
All right.
Are there 3 people involved in this, Austin? Was that last lady one as well?
There were 3 people involved. His ex and her brother, who for some reason was never charged.
Yes, that's what I was trying to remember. He didn't belong with her. I've made them. I'll make them both the same offer, the minimum. I mean, what I usually do is low. I didn't see anything that was grossly problematic. Just $100 fine, 10 days suspended.
May I be put in a room with Mr. Abruzzo for just a brief amount of time?
Okay. Mr. Abruzzo, going to put you in this.
Yes, sir.
Room. All right, so let's see, Mr. Poindexter, you have a case you can take up?
Yes, sir. I need to ask Mr. Gilly. We had completed a DUI plea form and sent it in, but he sent us one back, and I can't read his writing.
That's nothing unusual.
Mr. Gilly, this says 180 days in jail, sir, 14.
Yes, it is. Let me see what your guy's name was.
Justin Peak.
And that's the minimums that's allowed. It's a DUI second. He had a let's see.
I was trying to figure out what the aggravator was.
That's what I was looking to see. I remember. Oh, he tested 20.
Okay, I didn't receive that test result. So I
Yes,
didn't.
he tested 20.2.
Okay, and
So that's the minimums on that.
right,
That we
right.
can
Can
do
he
on a
do
second
that?
with a 20.
Can he do twice that on an ankle monitor?
Triple.
Triple, Judge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I didn't know if it was an auction or if that's your usual.
No, that's the usual.
Okay. Let me speak to Mr. Peak, and I'll get back on here in a minute, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, let's see if you're on the LG Stylo 4 and you got on a white shirt or jacket, you're sitting on your couch in front of a picture, your microphone is not connected. And Michael's Galaxy, your microphone is not connected. So you'll have to do something to make your.
I sent the LG Stylo a message.
Travis Hurt, apparently. Mr. Hurt, we cannot hear you until you get your microphone fixed, or Michael's Galaxy. All right, if you're on the telephone and your phone number ends in 163, what's your name? What's your name? Your phone number ends in 163.
My name is Marvin Hubbard. Is this number ending 163?
Marvin
163.
Hubbard.
Does your number end in 163?
We've got a guilty plea up.
All right, Mr.
Yeah,
Hubbard.
this is me, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I'm on my dad's cell phone. I didn't know the number. This is kind of an awkward way to do court, you know. Sorry.
You're telling me.
I know. I can tell you're frustrated sometimes.
All right, Mr. Hubbard, you're charged with DUI first offense. How do you want to plead to that charge?
I have just signed the plea of guilty this morning.
Okay, are you pleading guilty? You pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol today?
No, sir.
Are you pleading guilty to DUI first offense because on December 31st, 2020, you operated a motor vehicle in Metcalfe County, Kentucky while under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
Yes, what was the question?
Are you pleading guilty because you operated a motor vehicle?
Yeah, I just spoke to the guy this morning, Gilly, I believe.
Yep. You understand that DUI is an enhanceable offense and that every time you get one within a 10-year period, the penalties go up each time.
Yes, sir.
If you get 4 within a 10-year period, it would become a felony offense, right?
Yes, sir. Copy that.
You also understand by pleading guilty, you're waiving your constitutional rights. Those rights include the right not to testify against yourself, the right to a speedy and public trial by a jury, where the Commonwealth would have to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at that trial. You'd have a lawyer appointed for you if you could not afford one. You'd have the right to confront and cross-examine any witnesses called against you at that trial, and you'd have the right to put on your own evidence and call your own witnesses on your behalf, and you would have the right to appeal your case to a higher court. You understand by pleading guilty, you're waiving those rights.
Yes, sir.
You signed this plea form this morning?
Yes, at 9 a.m. I was there.
And you went over it and you believe you understand what it is you're doing?
He said 2 years probation.
Yeah, I'm gonna
and
go.
That I served my.
I'm getting ready to go over all that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right. All right. So on your plea, but you understand what you were doing by signing this plea form and pleading guilty, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right. On your plea of guilty, you'll have the minimum fines and costs. You have the sheriff's fee. You have 30 days in jail. You have to serve 2. You have credit for 2. The remaining 28 days are suspended for 2 years on the condition you don't have any aggravated traffic offenses. Your license is suspended for 6 months. You have, oh, wait, yeah, no, your license is suspended for 6 months. I don't know why it said 30-day minimum. That's a mistake. Your license is suspended for 6 months, but you would potentially be eligible for an interlock ignition device. And you have alcohol and drug education classes you have to complete before you can get your license back.
Oh, okay. How do I go about getting those?
I'm gonna tell you, the total that you're gonna owe is $653. How much time would you
Okay,
need to pay that?
Probably a couple of months. I'm waiting for my stimulus check to.
All right, May the 12th.
Within
May the 12th
May
at
the
9
12th.
o'clock.
653.
Yes, you can contact the U-turn office because they are going to be the ones that monitor your alcohol and drug education classes, and they can tell you about the interlock ignition device as well. Their phone number is 270-651 or 270-629 2130.
270. Sorry. I'm sorry. I haven't got a pen ready. What's the right? 270. Sorry. Can you repeat that number, please? 270
629
629
2130.
2130.
All right, just call them and they'll help you out with that. Have that paid by May the 12th.
Okay, so May the 12th, $653. And I have to do the classes, but I'll call this number for the rest of the information, right?
Yep, she'll be able to give you the information.
Okay, thank you, John.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Judge, I'm sorry, I missed that gentleman's name.
Marvin Hubbard.
Thank you.
All right, let's see. Mr. Poindexter, are you ready in your case? Guess not. All right, Mr. Abruzzo, how about you?
Sir, I think we're ready.
All right, do you know what you're planning on doing?
Yes, sir. I'll accept the deal offered.
All right. So to assault fourth degree domestic violence is enhanceable. If you get 3 of those in a 5-year period, it would be a felony. You understand that?
Yes, sir, I do.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes, I am.
Anyone forcing you to plead guilty?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
Yes, sir.
Was it 10 days or 30? All right, Mr. Abruzzo, on your plea of guilty, it's a $100 fine. You have 10 days in jail that are suspended for 2 years on the condition you don't violate the penal code or the domestic violence laws.
Yes, sir.
You're going to owe a total $263. How much time would you need to pay that?
Can I get, what is it? Probably around May. Would that be okay?
Yeah, May the 12th. If you haven't paid by then, you don't have to come back. If not, be here at 10 o'clock that day.
Yes, sir.
Or 9 o'clock, my fault.
Do I need to sign this plea deal paper somehow or?
No, sir.
Okay.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, if you're on the telephone, you have to hit *6 to unmute your mic. Unmute your phone. All right, there's nobody left on here that I can talk to. Either your microphone's not connected or your phone is muted.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yep, what's your name?
Jeremy Park.
74. All right, Mr. Park, you're here. You're charged with the DUI. Have you talked to your lawyer about that?
Yes.
All right. What are we planning on doing?
She worked out some kind of deal. She's not there.
She's sick today, I think.
Yep, she's sick.
So does
We
we
put
need
it
to
off
put it?
then till she's back.
Yeah. I don't know when she's gonna be back. Next week, Robert?
I would think so.
All right. Mr. Park, we can put it on next week at 10 o'clock. Did you sign a plea form or something?
No, I haven't signed nothing. Yeah, we talked about some kind of agreement though, me and her had.
I better put it off then. You need to call and make an appointment to talk with her. I'll put it on February 24th. That'll be 2 weeks. We'll
Okay,
see
am I
if we
getting
can-
new paperwork or?
Nope.
Okay, so February 24th.
Yeah, at 10 o'clock. It's the same link as
10
today. You just need to call and talk
Okay.
to your lawyer. She'll give
Okay,
you.
I'll do that.
All right.
I'll send you a plea. I've already got a DUI plea worked up.
Good luck.
What was Mr.
All right, thank you.
Cole's first name?
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on a second. It's Jeremy Park. All right, Mr. Park. Good luck.
Good. Thank you.
All right. If you're on the telephone, you have to hit *6 to unmute your phone.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
What's your name?
Teresa Clover.
We continued it. Yeah, it's next week. Ms. Clover, you have a special prosecutor and they could not be here today, so we continued it to next week at 9 o'clock, I believe,
What day is that?
the 17th.
February 17th at 9 o'clock?
Yes, ma'am. Same link as today.
All
Oh,
right,
10
thank you.
10 o'clock, they tell me.
Okay, 10 o'clock, the
I need
17th.
Yes, I need to make sure I've got Miss Clover's correct phone number. This is Whitney with pretrial.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your phone
It's
number?
270-576-3752.
Okay. All right. Is your voicemail set up on that phone?
I'm not sure, but I can get that set up. I don't think it is, but I can get it set up.
That would be a great idea.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Is that all you needed from me, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
All right, so I have two other people. Mr. Poindexter, are you ready in yours?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, what do we want to do here?
We were hearing a plea to a DUI second.
Hold on, I can't hear both of you at the same time.
Mr. Poindexter insists on sending me a DUI guilty plea that says I'm going to dismiss operating a motor vehicle under alcohol, and I'm not going to dismiss it. I sent him this one. He didn't sign it. He added something to his, and it still says that we're going to dismiss DUI, and I'm not going to dismiss the DUI. He can sign mine and send it back, or we'll do something else.
No, Your Honor, what that is CourtNet still shows DUI first that was amended to second. So what we're saying is it dismisses the DUI first and he's pleading to a DUI second. Because it's got two DUIs on the same case number.
Okay.
Yeah, we amended it. It's the original charge, you know.
I'm just gonna mark that part out because I don't think we really need it.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Everything else there is the same. I mean, would work, right?
$400 fine, 180 days in jail, served 14, remaining suspended, credit given for time served. I don't know how much it is. I assume it's 2. License suspended 18 months.
TF credit.
Find. I
He's
can't.
got 0 credit, Your Honor.
0 credit.
Yes.
So he'd have 42 days and that's what's on here, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, Mr. Peak, can you unmute your microphone?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Peak, you're charged with DUI, second offense, aggravator, so I have to amend that. DUI, second offense, aggravator. Do you know how you want to plead to that charge?
Yeah, I'm gonna plead guilty.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol today?
No, sir.
Are you pleading guilty to DUI, second offense, aggravator because on July 18th, 2020, you operated a motor vehicle in Metcalfe County, Kentucky while under the influence of alcohol?
Yes, sir.
You understand that DUI is an enhanceable offense and that every time you get one within a 10-year period, the penalties go up each time.
Yes, sir.
If you got 4 within a 10-year period, it would be a felony offense, right?
Yes.
You also understand by pleading guilty, you're waiving your constitutional rights. Those rights include the right not to testify against yourself, the right to a speedy and public trial by a jury, where the Commonwealth would have to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at that trial. You'd have a lawyer appointed for you if you could not afford one. You'd have the right to confront and cross-examine any witnesses that were called against you during that trial. And you'd have the right to put on your own evidence and call your own witnesses on your behalf. And you'd have the right to appeal your case to a higher court. You understand by pleading guilty, you're waiving those rights.
Yes, sir.
Did you sign a guilty plea form this morning?
I did.
And you've been over that and you've talked with your lawyer about that and you believe you understand what you're doing?
Yes, said something about triple the amount of time with an ankle bracelet. Is that right?
Yes. So
Okay.
on your plea of guilty, you'll have the minimum fines and costs. Your license will be suspended for, 18 months, I guess. You would be probably be eligible for an interlock ignition device. If you got that, you'd be eligible to drive immediately. You have 180 days in jail. You have to serve 14. You're going to do those 14 as 42 days home incarceration. The remaining 166 days are suspended for 2 years on the condition you don't have any aggravated traffic offenses. And you have alcohol and drug education classes you have to complete before you can get your license back.
Okay.
Let's see. You've already turned in your license prior, right?
Yes, sir.
And the total that you're going to owe is $853. How much time do you need to pay that?
Depending on what time you guys are out today, I can probably make it up there and pay it today.
Well, you're going to have to pay for that home incarceration too. So I'm just going to say you can pay it today if you'd like. I'm going to put it on May the 5th.
Okay.
If you want to pay it today, you can. You'll have to contact Julie at the U-Turn office. She's the one that will monitor your home incarceration. That phone number is 270-629-2130.
629. I didn't catch that last part.
2130.
2130. All right.
Yeah. She can tell you about where you can do your counseling. She could also give you information about an interlock ignition device if you're interested in that.
Okay.
His license won't be suspension's not terminated today, is it?
The pretrial, doesn't that mean the pretrial suspension?
Okay. I don't know.
I didn't call DOT about it. Make sure of that.
All right, Mr. Peak, do you have any other questions?
No, sir.
All right. Good luck. Have a good day.
You too.
All right.
Go ahead. Can I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. I have 2 other folks that are on the telephone, and then the other 2, your phones have we still don't have your microphones working.
Michael's working on his.
If you're on the telephone, you have to hit *6 to unmute your phone. All right, that's not working. Would you say this other person's Travis Hurt? Or no? Travis Hurt, can you hear me? I don't know what they got on the LG Stylo. Who's on the LG Stylo? Can you hear me? If you can, raise your hand.
And I've even sent him a message earlier asking
All right.
him to set up his stuff.
So, Mr. Damashki, we're gonna have to change it. We're gonna have to continue his. Yeah, Mr. Damashki, we'll put yours on next week and we'll see if you can get it corrected by then. It'll be next Wednesday at 10 o'clock. And the other folks that are on the phone, I can't help them or that gentleman. So I think that's all we can do. All
I
right.
sent a message to Michael.
All right. Thank you.